Hey everybody, it's Sunday. Happy Sunday. Little like blog style video today because I haven't had time to make the contents. I'm actually putting this out. There's a computer on the roof of my truck. I got to edit it right now today, probably an hour before you're seeing this. But it's worth to go over some projects because what I've had going on is nothing but personal life disasters. It's summertime and at my work, at the real job, I've been swamped. People are away, so it's time I get to work on work projects I can't do when everybody's there. So like last 2 weeks I worked like 25 hours of overtime, so that really cut down on my garage progress. But I've got a new project here I'm working on. And then something sad happened. One of my best friends, like 25, 26 years, got real aggressive cancer and got it, and 6 weeks later he was gone. So we just had the funeral, or the celebration of life yesterday for that. So for him, and that was sad and stuff like that. So that was kind of a big bummer there I've been dealing with for the last couple of weeks. And so my buddy Jim, he's on to the next life. But anyways, where am I going with that? So that was a huge bummer. But yeah, so anyways, this whole week's been shot. I haven't had time to do anything, but I've got the Studebaker trailer in the shop here. Taking this Truck Nationals at Carlisle coming up. Ted and I are on the road again. We're going to be at the Truck Nationals at Carlisle first week of August. Taking the Studebaker truck, which is what we took to the show with the dragster out in Cleveland back in the spring. We're taking that. I was going to take the Dodge. I'll go out and tell you why I'm not going to take the Dodge to the Truck Nationals. We're going to take the Studebaker. And it'll be a little bit something different take down there, I guess. But one of the things I want to do is I want to take the old Studebaker trailer, bam, right here down to Carlisle behind the truck. And that required getting it out of backyard purgatory where it's just been rotting away for years. Backstory on this thing real fast is I found this in a junkyard. It didn't have the Studebaker fenders on it, but it was the original Studebaker box and tailgate and all that. It had this huge wooden like cap build on it, and they had 55-gallon drums that used motor oil stored in it. And I lived across the street from this junkyard for a while, or a machine shop / junkyard. And I'm like, hey, I want to buy that Studebaker trailer. It took me like, I don't know, 5-6 years of begging them. They're like, oh, storage, storage, it's premium. I'm like, you got a whole junkyard, like, all I want is this. So I've had it for probably, I don't know, almost 20 years now, but it took me like 4 or 5 years before that to get it out of them. It's pretty much how it looked. Originally, it was the original Studebaker green here, just like my truck was originally. That's the original paint color there, and somebody had welded up this angle iron frame for it. I put the new tongue on it because it was kind of rough, but it's the original Studebaker box. I threw these fenders on it, some old junk fenders I had. I had to widen them to clear the axle that was on there. But it is functional. I tow it. So I'm going to clean it all up. I'm going to do a separate video cleaning it up, which I'm going to start in a minute. I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to turbo can it with this new some flat black to match the truck. I got the wheels off, and I had to get some new tires. I had to break my rule. I had to go to Walmart because they're the only place I could find like decent trailer tires that were not $800. These are Carlisle or Car Star or something. I don't know. Made in Thailand. Whatever, Walmart's best, but it's better than the 40-year-old dry rotted tires I had on it. So I guess we'll throw them on, try and mount them up. I'm going to paint the wheels, pack the bearings and stuff, paint it black, hit the track. Boom! Studebaker box will be ready for action. So look for Ted and I down at Carlisle. I'm sure it'll be the only M-Series Studebaker truck pulling another half of a Studebaker truck at Carlisle, so should be easy to spot. I already got the sticker in the mail, so we'll be there in a couple weeks. Truck Nationals in Carlisle. Come check it out. I also got it hooked to the back of the Model A shop truck. I pulled that in. I want to change the rear end gears here. It's got 355 limited slip, which leaks a lot. I'm getting bad gas mileage at 355s. I got 279s open diff 8-inch Ford, but I'm going to throw that in there, knock the RPMs back down. I don't really need the limited slip. I don't do burnouts with this truck anymore. I just drive it like everyday hot rod. So I'm going to throw the highway gears in it, pick my miles back up from 15 miles a gallon, hopefully to like closer to 20 like it used to get when I had 273s in it originally. But that's good. I'm going to fix a couple things. The speedometer cable broke. I'm going to put a new one of those in there. But I love this truck. I haven't really driven it that much because the rear end was leaking and it's been like raining a lot. There's no windows in the doors, so I haven't been driving. I've been driving the Dodge and stuff. So I want to get that going, get that back on the road before summer's over. Speaking of Dodges, bam, here it is. So I just been like kind of daily driving the Dodge out here. It's been doing all right. Like I said a couple of videos ago, the reason we're not going to take it to Carlisle is it doesn't seem, it runs okay, but the oil pressure isn't that great, and it doesn't seem to have a lot of power. I don't know the backstory in the engine, except that I paid $200 for it and bought it from some guys that had like a used truck dealership, and it was out of the truck, never heard it run. So I don't know if it's got 876,415.2 miles on it. I don't know. But it seems to be down on power. It doesn't smoke or nothing. And maybe I've got tuning issues or with the carburetor still. It seems like it gets horrendous gas mileage and doesn't make any power. And when you boot it, it seems to make weird noises and doesn't really go anywhere. So I'm a little dubious. I don't really want to beat on it on the highway at 70 miles an hour for 5 hours. So we're not taking this to Carlisle. I just been driving it. Oh, and also the starter went out on it. The one thing I didn't change when I like changed every other single piece on the truck was the starter. And I went to work, and like I said, I've been working overtime. I was there for 13 hours on Friday, 2 days ago. I come out at 8:30 at night in the parking lot. Everybody's gone. I go to start it. Click, 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 click. The battery's got plenty of juice, but the starter's got like a dead spot in it. So there I am in the dark by myself. That's what she said. Trying to get this thing going. The tires are so sticky, these BF Goodrich mud trains. I couldn't turn the steering wheel hardly at all on the asphalt to turn the wheels to push the truck downhill to push start it myself. There's nobody around. Finally, I was able to haul on it enough to get the wheels going, turned, pop started it, got it going, and here it is in the yard. So I got to get a starter for that. But I've been driving it, put a couple, 300-400 miles on it. Haven't finished the snowplow yet, but it's kind of turned into like an around town truck just because I don't trust the engine yet, and I'm overworking on it for now. So I'll fix the starter and then just keep using it around town. And it's cool to drive around. Actually, I get hollered at all the time, and I took it to a cruise night, which is funny to take a truck that was complete garbage and throw it back together and take it to cruise night. Like the country boys are all over it. They never seen such a thing. They're like, this thing is awesome. So people love the truck. It's just, I think it's going to be around town rig for a little while. The van here, after power tour, 2,300 miles in power tour, no problems, half a quart of oil, 3/4 of a quart of oil. No issues. I do need to change the oil on it. And I'm taking it to the Syracuse Nationals, which is this coming weekend in Syracuse. I'll be there Friday and Saturday. Once again, Ted's bringing his camper. We're gonna bomb out and crash at the campground. So taking this to Syracuse, it's nice because I can sleep in it. It's roomy. There's very few vans at Syracuse, so it kind of cool to take it there. I can put stuff in it that I buy at the swap meet. So if you're at the Syracuse Nationals, look for the Boogie van. Boom, it'll be here. I just drove it yesterday out to Buffalo. But before we go that, Ford, I've been driving this after I put the rear tank in it, fixed all that. I can actually drive it more than like 100 miles without running out of gas with a big block. So I've been doing the economical thing and driving my big block Ford truck to work every day because I like it. I put a stereo, I fixed the radio, I put speakers in it, in the doors, put the door, oh, it's locked, dang it. Why is the door locked? I fixed the radio. I put new speakers in here. I kind of fixed up the door panels, and ooh, it smells like black ice, little tree. I had a mouse in here, and it was making a stink. So I now it smells like a lowrider from downtown in here, but whatever. So I've been driving this a lot because I do like this truck, and it does handle good and drive good. It's XLT with sway bars. It's fun. It sounds good, but man, she's tough on the gas. But now I got 2 tanks, so we could suck it down from both of them. Speaking of trucks, what happened to this? I forgot all about it. That's the reason I started this whole video. I wanted to talk about the C10. Well, you're looking at it, it's still sitting here. I got so hijinxed with so many side projects like this truck, like Studebaker boxes. The sign at the gas station, oh, it's up. You want to see it? There it is over there. Bam, do you see it? Where is it? Look for my finger, Richfield right there. That came out awesome. If you haven't seen the video on that, see how I got that mounted up with a tractor. That was pretty sketchy. Almost died, not quite, on the edge. Anyways, back to the C10. I planned to have this thing apart and have the frame at the sandblaster a couple of weeks ago, and that didn't happen because of all these life issues I said that were going on. So I plan on, in another week or so, firing this up, pulling it in the shop, completely disassembling it, sending the frame out to get sandblasted, gonna send the doors to get media blasted, and then get the frame primered in epoxy primer so I can paint it black, and we will get this back together. I've got all new suspension components, the lowering kit, the shortening kit, and all the whole 9 yards. So as soon as it comes back from the blaster, should be able to paint it, slam all the suspension on it, drop it right on the ground, put the engine transmission back in it, do the metal work on the cab, stick the cab on it, put it in primer, get the whole front clip in primer, probably paint the inside of the truck blue, Hawaiian blue. Then we'll slap this box on it just like this and get it running and driving with this box just like it is. And then I can recover financially, looking for fenders at Carlisle and stuff like that for the correct fenders. And then goal is by the end of the year to get this running, driving again back together in primer with this box, and then focus on finishing up next spring, doing the final paint and all that stuff, mag wheels and all that. But we should have a functional short box step side by the end of the year on this guy. And when I'm talking about projects, don't think I forgot about the Plymouths. Here we go. Plan is quiet, I'm filming. Plan is when the Chevy is apart / going back together is to go, I'm going to have a Cornfield Customs in Cincinnati bend up a set of custom 2x4 frame rails for this. And I'll go get them probably in September-ish. Go pick them up and bring them back. And then in the middle of winter, get this car, or well, in winter, get this car out. And this will be a wintertime project. Get it in the shop, put the rails, make some kind of homemade frame table jig thing. Put the rails on there, scab the rails together, get the Mustang 2 in the front, get the 4-link in the back, take the body off this frame, set it on the new rails, tag it all together, get it as a roller by like springtime, not running, driving, but mount the motor, transmission, get it all, check it all out, get the suspension on it, hang it all together. If you watch the last couple of videos, I talked about these cars. I was talking about taking this and using the hardtop car to hardtop this one. The more I'm thinking about it, I might not do that. I might just run it slammed like this, like a 2-door post car, because even though the hardtop is completely rusted out, very, very bad, I kind of want to not destroy the hardtop-ish. It's got some value as a hardtop that maybe, you know, I might leave this car intact. I think I got to steal the front clip off it, but the body-wise, I might leave it intact as a hardtop and figure out what to do with it later. But I think I might just leave this as a 2-door post. I thought about chopping the top with using a hardtop windshield and dragging the roof ahead, you know, leaving it as a post, but turning the roof into the dimensions of a hardtop. I think I might do that maybe, because then I can reuse, just cut new side glass and leave the doors and stuff pretty much as they are, reuse the rear window. I don't know, I might just leave it like this, weld up the holes in the roof and just leave it full patina, slam patina cruiser and just call it good. I'm leaning towards that because it'll still be something different. It'll be an airbagged 58 Plymouth that you don't see done this way because, you know, they're usually too valuable to build like junk. So it'll be different any which way it gets built, but that's what I might do is just leave it like this, get it running and driving, think about it later, but it's pretty much intact as a usable car except for the windshield right now. So the easiest thing to do would be do the new chassis, do the power plant, get it all going, you know, get it running and driving in this. I forget what this color is called, but it's like a factory gold, mist gold or rose gold or something like that, which I'm not really a fan of, but I love the patina, so probably going to be is what it is. But yeah, get this guy going and be on the road with that next year, hopefully. Down here in the pole barn, the Mercury is just how we saw it from last video, where I pulled it in, got it out of the way. We put the chrome headlight on, put the chrome 41 Ford bumper on, chromed the grill out so it looks like a 40 Merc again. Actually, the parts I ordered from Summit, from Bob Drakery Productions, of the reproduction headlight buckets that go behind here, they both came in, so I'm just going to put them in off camera real fast, get the front end of this thing cooked back together, and then this guy will be ready to go. Oh, actually, here's the Studebaker truck over here. This thing's ready to go to Carlisle. I just got to check the oil and stuff like that, check the fluids, clean it up. It's should be good to go. Everything's got good tires and stuff on it, so we'll hook this guy up to the trailer. Like I said, I'm going to turbo can the trailer to match the truck so everything doesn't look horrendous. But if you see this truck, the flat black one with the green wheels with the matching trailer behind it at Carlisle, first week of August, Truck Nationals, we'll be there. Then we come to my Tail of Woe, the 37 Ford. Did the show way back in the spring, the Tail Dragger show in Buffalo. Wasn't running right at all. 6-volt problems, I don't know. I'm going to switch this thing to 12 volts. I wanted to be cool 6-volt guy. I can't deal with it anymore. It's going to get switched to 12 volts. It's going to get an alternator, maybe power gen alternator. 12-volt electrical system. I'm going to get a drop-in electric distributor for the front, crab-style distributor. Run it electric ignition, 12 volts, and try to get this thing running. I'm on the fence of what to do with the car. I've had it for like 11 years. Haven't driven it more than like 10 miles on the road, if that. It's out of inspection. The registration runs out next year. I want to get it running. If I can't, do I sell it and concentrate on something more modern? Do I keep it, take it off the road, just store it down here? I don't know. It seems kind of a shame. I've got new tires and stuff on it that now are 10 years old, but they've been inside, so they're not dry rotted, but brand new tires. Like, it's to the point where something's got to happen with it. It's either got to start getting driven, or it's got to go down the road, or something, because it's going to start going backwards money-wise. And I put so much time and money into it, swapping the engine, transmission, rear end, fixing everything, tires, brakes, whole 9 yards. Like, it's 99% there. It's just fighting me and fighting me and fighting me, and like it's fighting and costing money, and it's killing me to have it sit here. But I've got to make it usable. I can't. It's completely it's dead right now. I won't even run to get out of its way. Now it's like paperweight here now, so I've got to fix that up. Oh, and also I haven't even uncovered this year yet. My dad's 37 Buick. Nicest car I got. Giving me the most fits. It's got a 400 small block Chevy. Runs extremely hot. I thought it might have been leaking leaking coolant out of the head last time I fired it up, which could mean blown head gasket because it's been overheated so many times. Don't know. It needs overdrive really bad. It screams to 400 on the highway. I don't drive it because the engine gets nuclear temperature as soon as you stop from driving to in a town. It's 210, 220 degrees. It won't start at gas stations. It's a pain. Would really like to pull the 400 out and do something else, but don't have the money for another engine. Like, it doesn't really need a 400 swell block like a decent 350, or I thought about maybe putting an LS in it, but it's not really an LS style car, but it would make a nice cruiser. It needs different rear end gears or overdrive, none of which is cheap, and I'm like tapped out money wise. Like, all these projects freaking a lot of money. I'm like a lot of money in that Dodge, a lot of money in that Chevy, like got money for Plymouth parts. It's tapped out money wise, so I'm just limping along with it here. I get it, take it out a couple times a year, but I haven't even fired it up this year at all except to move it around, so kind of a bummer, but I'll get to it eventually, I guess. I don't say I'm not driving this Dodge. It's covered with bugs. There's proof, but driving everything, just like I said, the summer is out of control for me. I've been busier than I ever been at work. And not like the big fancy YouTubers that get to play with their cars all day and have QA1 and all them guys show up and give them $10,000 worth of parts. I got to go to work to get paid to buy the parts to build this stuff. So it is what it is. It's hard to keep up with a couple of videos a week when you're working 12, 13, 14 hours a day. Then stuff's going on the weekend. So I'm going to go back inside, throw this thing on the edit box there on the roof of the truck, get it uploaded for you guys. It'll be mid-Sunday afternoon when it comes out probably, but at least it's still Sunday, I guess. And we'll see you next time. I'm going to start a new video. Oh, actually, actually stay around for Wednesday. I went yesterday, so backwards in time, forward in time. I went yesterday to the Pierce Air Museum, Transportation Museum in Buffalo. We debuted the rocket car after like 8 or 9 years of restoration work. It finally got debuted. It's going to be on permanent display at the Pierce Aero Transportation Museum in Buffalo with some other Playboy cars that were made in Buffalo. Look them up. And actually the Playboy magazine was named after the Playboy car from Buffalo, which is a fun fact. And it's like a little economy secondary car that Charles Thomas designed, and they made in like 47, 48 to sell as like a secondary it's a hardtop retractable roadster, kind of cool. And there's a half dozen of them there. But the original car that Charles Thomas designed, the rocket car that I spent way back in the early part of the channel, 320 hours of metal work rebuilding the lower 12 inches of the car, just got debuted, and the video will be out on Wednesday. The audio was a little goofy at the museum with the microphone, so hopefully I'll be able to play around with the sound so you guys can hear what Jim, the owner, is talking about. But we'll definitely get to see the car and see what it looks like. And it's a one-of-a-kind futuristic car built in 1936 to 38. They had tons of features that you wouldn't see in normal cars until like the 1940s, 50s, and 60s after that. So pretty interesting. It's finally done. And after watching that video, if you want to go back in the playlist, I have a rocket car playlist. Just Google Thomas rocket car and it'll come up, and you can see all the metal work I did on the channel here like 6 years ago when I was a goofball. So that's it. I got to get in the shop and get to work. We'll see you next time. Hopefully things get done here. I don't know. Trying my best. Bam. Overloaded and underpaid at the Quick Speed Shop.